Hey there, look at you. All right.
Hey.
Suarez from WeHeart Seattle. Andrea, I wanted to call you and get you on because there's this story, let's see if I connect all this, that the Antifa folks that have been giving you a hard time when you go out to do sweeps and stuff like that, and describe some of the stuff. Ooh, there's an individual right now. Oh, that's you not wanted. Got it. So that you're there, you're helping to try to give somebody that is just, absolutely in the worst place in their life. You say, listen, if you come with me right now, I can get you treatment. I can help you. Do you want to come with me? Person says yes, or they say no. What's the latest number? You have many people at WeHeart Seattle. Have you gotten off the street and got into treatment? What's your number?
Hundreds of people. We're like at 285 and help uplift the lives of thousands. Our work is very priceless. Hard to often quantify the ripple effect of our boots on the ground work.
Do you do a better job than the city of Seattle?
We don't have any bureaucracy, red tape, or ideology in our way. We just go. If you're ready to go, we house you, rehab you, ticket home you. We actually also encourage you to serve your warrants, which is why I attract opposition, because they hate institutions, jails, structure, parks.
Okay,
people,
Andrea, that leads us to the story. So the story is, can I play some of it, Joe, or is it going to give it all away? What do you think?
You can play some of it.
Here we go. Ready for? Hold on, Andrea. Hang on.
The research shows is working with far-left militants and progressive groups and violent domestic terrorists like Antifa.
Okay, so that's Jonathan Cho saying that Antifa is being funded by nonprofit or government organizations that are supposed to be working with the homeless, right?
If it sounds far-fetched, take it from someone inside the homeless sector here.
It's the same faction of people who link up and protest and, do the black bloc. And, they're often the same people we see working inside social services.
Andrea Suarez, lifelong Democrat and Seattle resident, started a volunteer organization, WeHeart Seattle, to clear trash from parks and homeless encampments.
Yep, we know that.
She said she had no idea she'd come face-to-face with Antifa.
I've been attacked. My staff has been attacked. We've been pushed into traffic. We've had...
But here's the question.
Yeah.
Why?
Ooh, look at that guy asking the trenchant question.
I'm not in alignment with their ideology. They don't want the city cleaned. Who in their right mind would come after a middle-aged woman for picking up trash?
Right, you went with the middle-aged woman line. All right.
I'm so dangerous. To them, I think that the strong old school Democrats are the biggest enemy of the fringe cringe left to the Democratic Socialist Party.
Okay, well, let's get to the meat of the story. What evidence? Because even Mike Sloan, who is the union guy for the police, he even says that the people in Antifa that are aligned are getting funding from social organizations, possibly, I don't know if he says government, but nonprofits, and nonprofits might be getting the money from the government. So how are all these things connected, and what proof do you have?
The proof I have is 5 years ago when people came out to my litter pick and told all of the other nonprofits in the area. There was a letter that went to city council by members of Antifa, or what I call more like anarcho-nihilists, or, anarchism is an ideology. They don't want structure. They were mad at me because I had a brand, a heart on my chest, a name, a website. They want no involvement over somebody else's life. And so because I had a platform, targeted, and they told all of the homeless organizations, like hundreds of people received this letter, and Tammy Morales, former councilwoman Tammy Morales, posted it on her Twitter feed that Andrea Suarez and the WeHeart model is dangerous and harmful to homeless, and to be warned. And they created propaganda piece after propaganda piece that I needed to be stand down. How are they funded? Well,
yeah,
they hand out sleeping bags. They work there. They bring their ideology into their boardrooms, into their training curriculum, into the way they do case management. As example, and this is very clear, anarchism means stand down. You are not a coach. You're not a leader. You're not in charge. They don't like somebody overseeing and telling somebody else what to do, put simply.
Right.
And so there's this model called person-centered care. And that means a drug addict should know for themselves what they need. And instead, we're giving them tourniquets and foil and crack pipes to smoke drugs because drug users are people too. So all of that ideology is anarchism. And Antifa, or militant black blocked Antifa, are the violent faction of this overarching ideology of anarchy.
Right, but do we know, is there money going, is Antifa getting their soy milk and the other things that they need? Is it coming from the government? That's the question.
It comes to the government because the government funds these nonprofits that indoctrinate their staff and the models by which they serve the community, which is a hands-off. Don't tell somebody they should have to go to a shelter or rehab. And that philosophy is anarchism, and a faction of that is Antifa. And those same people, in fact, go out into the ground and protest, like stop the sweeps and get in the and so from a backdoor means and the way that they're,
I get it.
There's not like a donate button that's going from this nonprofit to that nonprofit.
Right.
It's very clever that the way that they did that.
Right. It's not a check. It's an ideology that is transferred. All right. So let's just talk real quick. Andrea Suarez from WeHeart Seattle. Big election coming up. You've got the mayor, Bruce Harrell. You got Katie Wilson. Where are you leaning, if you're allowed to say, and who would be better for the homeless?
Well, I believe that whoever gets elected would do best for the homeless if they talked to WeHeart Seattle and a expansion of ways and models in which to help the homeless, which is to intervene, use Ricky's Law, fund rehab. I don't think Mayor Harrell has really invested at all. So I favor moderates. I favor people who are pro-police, pro-park, public safety, pro-mariners, and I don't see that necessarily from Katie's side. But whoever is elected must pivot and ban camping and introduce legislation that expands, nuisance behavior is not allowed within certain feet of parks. Other cities are doing it. Burien, Tacoma, Camas, Bellevue, everybody around us. Everett has a no sit, no lie ordinance they just passed. Everybody's coming in to Seattle.
Now, so Katie, I asked the mayor that. I said, the fact that this is not all homegrown, the people that are homeless in Seattle, they come in from other states, other cities, other towns. I said that I understand that there has been an influx of people from Everett that are now on the streets in Seattle. Can you confirm that?
100%. 50 to 75 people came from Everett over the course of about a week. A couple weeks ago, we had interviews from people on the ground. Everybody has a fresh suitcase, packed their bags, and came to Seattle. 100% fact. They're coming from Burien, Renton, Kent, Auburn, Camas, Portland, Florida. My own case manager came out of prison directly to Seattle. Tim Emerson, he's an angel, he's a hero, but he's not from here. He came here because of services in the permissive, I won't go to jail for my crime ecosystem we have here. Yeah,
so Joe, do we have the sound of the answer on that one? So I asked the mayor, I told him the story. I said, let me tell you a story about a 23, 24-year-old guy who was living in Idaho, had his wisdom teeth taken out. He got hooked on Oxy, couldn't afford Oxy anymore, couldn't find any good street drugs to fill the habit that he had developed from having his wisdom teeth taken out. So a normal guy gets hooked. His friend says to him, go to Seattle because you can get all the drugs you want. They're really, really cheap, and the cops aren't going to hassle you. You can live as a homeless person. Somebody will feed you. They'll give you shelter, give you a tent. So that guy has now been in Seattle when I saw him a couple of years ago. And I asked the mayor, I said, do you think that we actually attract people because of this? And I said, do you think it also that we attract them because we offer all of these services? And he said, what is
So I saw you once again let my opponent off the hook on that question. So let me address it head on, because I answer questions directly.
Yes, you do. Go ahead.
That's also what makes Seattle very special. We don't want to build walls and say stay out because you have a problem. We are the home of Amazon and Microsoft and Starbucks and REI, and I could go down the list.
Wrong!
Right? We're innovative here. We are smart, and we are compassionate. Now, that doesn't mean we want our city overrun by criminals or people making bad decisions. Our upstream strategies is strong, and I have to be candid with you. I'm all in on trying to save the city from itself because we are liberal. We are funky in that way, and I love it, but we are not going to be so permissive as we let people destroy our city.
Okay, so kind of a little bit of both sides of the mouth. But the idea that, no, we don't want to put walls up. We want to be compassionate. That's not compassion. Putting aside the
he told me the same thing the other day in an intimate breakfast forum I was at. And he said, which he didn't say on your show, that the idea is to have a tri-city approach like Multnomah County and Portland has, to have everybody put into the pot. And, Seattle will go ahead and be the headquarters for all these people, but everybody needs to put into the pot. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon. And he could easily follow the lead of San Francisco. Proposition F passed by Mayor London Breed said, you cannot come to our city and get cash benefits if you do not pass a UA. It's very simple.
A UA is a UA?
A urinary analysis for hard illicit drugs. If you can't pass that, you don't get benefits. It's that simple. And San Francisco did it, and they immediately reset their culture of their city that they are no longer drug friendly. And we could do the same.
Yeah, and San Francisco's also were the ones that got rid of, after they put in place, you can steal up to $900. They threw that out about 2 years ago. Now they're arresting people. Also, their population has dropped quite a lot. And I talked about this the other day, that in television markets, number 1 is New York, number 2 is LA, number 3 is Chicago. And what was that? San Francisco was what, 4 or 5? It was 4?
It used to be 4. Now it's 6.
Now it's 6. That's how many people have decided to leave San Francisco. That's a very, very big number. Yeah, so they've decided we got to turn things around. It's a big, big mess. Even the president of Salesforce has said, you know what, we got to do something to save this city. We have a 36% vacancy rate in the city. All of these businesses are closing. The tax base is falling apart. We've got to turn things around. So it looks like San Francisco is where Seattle will probably be in 2 years.
Mayor, I wish he would just have a conversation with Mayor Lurie. The amendment they made to the retail theft was huge. Higher penalties. Bellevue just did that because all the drug addicts from Seattle, of course, take the train over to Bellevue and rip them red-handed dry.
That's why we put light rail in.
Yep, and now Edmonds is getting hit. It's just ridiculous. So we need to act urgently. People are dying every day. The drug crisis is still at an all-time high in Seattle. It's the cause of all the crime, all the smash and grabs, the porch pirating, the drug stores that are getting ripped off. No one wants to be here because you can't keep, even our own, their own city's program are eating their own by shoving small businesses into these small retail units down here on 3rd Avenue. And they're leaving, their small businesses have to leave because the windows are getting shot at. And their staff won't walk through the open air loitering of drug scenes. So you've got to do something. You have to intervene, and we need to have stricter laws and camping bans to save our parks.
All right, let me ask you something. Let me ask you a quick, because I've heard all this. You've said this, and people have heard it. Let me ask you this. Are there some mornings, Andrea, you don't want to get up? Not that you just don't want to live. Just some days you're thinking, like, what the hell am I doing with my life? I mean, really. The crap, the gigantic wall, the tidal wave of BS that comes from this city and these elected officials and the millions, if not billions and billions of dollars that are stolen from taxpayers and then wasted on programs with no metrics, and people die alone in affordable housing, their bodies decompose for 2 weeks, and then some poor person who has the job of having to go around and check has to walk in on that, right? So aren't there days, and it's okay for you to admit it, that you're like just tired?
I'm so tired, and it's such a valid point why there's a mass exodus of very good staff that are no longer willing to work into this industry. Where's OSHA for the people that have to work around fentanyl and cockroaches and dead bodies all day? Where are those OSHA lawsuits? Number one. For myself, I did go to Bellevue last week. I was a speaker at a conference, and I had an hour of peace with free parking and, no sirens, and I didn't walk over a drug addict or a dead body. It was very peaceful. And it's almost like I won't allow myself to get a little taste of that. I haven't been on a real vacation in a few years. And I know because I'll have that kind of soul searching moment. I think I sought out and accomplished what I wanted to do, which is clean the city. We've removed 2 million pounds of trash, including all these God forbidden pieces of foil that are all over our parks now. Hundreds of thousands of people's pieces of this foil.
Mm-hmm.
In these parks is now fentanyl foil all over, and our stupid government are handing out the foil with our taxpayer dollars in this dumb little red bag from King County, and they say, it's a public health crisis, and I'm like, what about the public safety crisis? I do pull my hair out, and I'm stressed out, and my health is taking a downturn, but I have peace because I don't need the government to go out and save a life today. We do it every day, and that's kind of our point is, the government, isn't solving this anytime soon. So it's up to us everyday citizens to lean into a working nonprofit, and why we ask your listeners to join the WeHeart Seattle movement. It is vital to saving lives and saving our city, and we do it making a nickel scream.
Suarez from WeHeart Seattle, thank you. Take care of your hair. Don't pull it out. If you do, you can go to Advanced Hair in Bellevue. You'll like that because you can park for free, okay?
Right on. Thank you.
Bye.